Hey everyone. Okay, so no beating around the bush. Let's talk about the epic snapshot moment where Emmet, the robot, unleashes a wave of Joy Boys conquers Haki on Egghead Island, knocking out nearly everyone and sending the five elders flying, basically flying back to Marie Joie. And yeah, it goes without saying, but Toei definitely cooked in that moment. Now, to balance that out, I'd honestly say the rest of the episode was just okay. It wasn't terrible, but you can very easily tell majority of the budget went entirely into that second half of the episode. Of course, the best, of course, the best, of course, the best part of this moment for me was this being the first time we've ever seen Emu truly flinch, because it shows he's not as infallible or all-knowing as he claims, and even more so that he can be hurt. Hockey is his weakness. And yeah, just the fact that this was only a taste of Joy Boys hockey, it really does in its own way give us a sense of just what kind of power Joy Boy had back then, and what kind of conflict really went on, like just all during the time of the Void Century. Like, if you had someone as powerful as this exist during that era, so much so where even Luffy was a little overwhelmed, and then it does make you ponder just what the War of the Void Century in itself was like. Because if this episode is any indication, it would, like, the War of the Void. If we ever get a look at what happened during that time period, I'd imagine it would put the War of the Best to shame. Let's just be honest about that. Like, the War of the Void Century was just, and not even on a power scaling level, but just on pure scale alone, like pure size and scale of the war itself. Like, you got to imagine with so much probably going on during that war, like with so many kingdoms, of so many things going after this one kingdom. Like, you imagine it's got to be insane. Uh, with that said, to answer the question, so I think some may have about why the hockey didn't affect the Straw Hats. The only answer I have there is, despite covering the whole island, the hockey itself was carefully focused on those it was intended to affect. Almost like the hockey kind of had a mind of its own, and that when Joy Boy had basically, in when at least according to Joy Boy, when he basically grafted the pretty much hockey into pretty much Emmett's body, he made it to where it would only affect his enemies, but it's not those he would consider its allies. So, like, I know it sounds strange, but I think it was almost one of those things where the hockey almost had a will of its own, and at least that's the way what I can glean based on the little flashback we get between Emmett and Joy Boy, anyway. Um, Now, in saying that, there is one moment I do want to talk about with Emmett, which is his final words of apology to Joy Boy, that he couldn't make Emmett the king. Now, in first reading that, the obvious conclusion to come to is Emmett was talking about making Joy Boy the king of the pirates. And you wouldn't be wrong for thinking that, especially when pairing this moment with Vegapunk's final words before the transmission fully cuts off, about how the ones who find the One Piece will be the ones who decide the course of history. But adding another layer to the final words, of those who've spoken about the One Piece before. But then there's that other part of what Vegapunk says, telling the audience that Joy Boy is something, but before getting cut off. And this is the part I was talking about. There might be more to that praise of wanting to make Joy Boy the king than just meaning to make him the pirate king. I think in Emmett's phrasing of phrasing with that, of wanting to make Joy Boy the king, I think it's got something to do with those who carry the name of D. Like, there's something more to the lore of those who carry the name of D when it comes to becoming the king of the pirates, or the king of it, or the king of whatever, like Emmett was talking about. Unfortunately, that's also a truth that's very, very likely and very much been lost to time. And we probably won't know about that for a little while. And but in the broader sense, but I guess taking Vegapunk's words in the broader sense, though, much like Roger and Whitebeard before him, Vegapunk, in saying those who find the One Piece are going to determine the course of history, yeah, this episode wasn't shy in showing, yeah, much like Roger and Whitebeard before him, Vegapunk, once again, he basically stirred up a hornet's nest in the pirate world. It's going to be impossible to contain. Even those pirates in Impeldown, you know they're gonna bust the fuck out and cause all kinds of shit, havoc and whatnot. And of course then you also got people like Buggy and whatnot who are like yeah, with that guy, let's just be honest. He's gonna fail upwards. He's gonna fail, but he's gonna fail in a way where he's gonna succeed anyway. Like, yeah, we know who Buggy is at this point. We know what the guy's deal is. um, with all that said, I want to talk about Joy Boy's voice actor as they got Takano to voice him, and as a voice talent, there wasn't anything too notable about her bio that stuck out to me, other than the fact that she played Louis from Hunter x Hunter and Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh! or Haga, as I guess he's known in Japanese. So like, yeah, this voice actor playing Joy Boy like Takano, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about her as far as her bio. In saying that, Urara's performance is interesting in the sense of it is and isn't what I was expecting Joy Boy to sound like. It's hard to explain, but Urara takes that walks that very interesting line of her performance sounding just enough like Luffy, yet still adding enough of its own personality to it, where it doesn't sound like a one-for-one copy of Luffy either. Again, it's it's hard to probably explain it any other way than saying it's a very Luffy-coded performance, but one that sounds more mature. Like this is a character who does carry a lot of the same spirit as Luffy, but is also a character who has the wisdom and experience from their own journey, yet never losing that optimism for the future and always looking ahead. Like, it's like they managed to give Joy Boy, they managed to walk the Urara managed to walk that very delicate line between immature but also wise in a lot of ways. Like goofy and boisterous, but very but has this sort of, you can tell this is a character who has wisdom beyond their from years too. So yeah, it's a very interesting way in which Urara had approached this performance, and I do like it overall, honestly. But in saying that, with that said, guys, that's all I've got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe from Blue Sky, and unless Crunchyroll, be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight, everyone is signing off. Later, everyone.